The joy one feels when one finds a thing one put aside many moons ago in exactly the place it should be is indescribable. I found the bolts to secure the Kapex back to the mobile trolley. Wow. Well, it certainly makes life easier. I was thinking maybe a little trip to Screwfix might be in order. Fear not, I'll explain all in 2 shakes of a lamb's rear end. That's a little awkward. Bends and knees. 2. No, I'm not getting rid of my Kapex, most heinous of thoughts. No, what I've got to do is take it to site for the little job I've been working on. I'll tell you a little bit about it, although I'm going to put a video out on it. The lady had an understair cupboard that wasn't really appropriate for her storage requirements. So she's asked me to build a set of understair storage sils. So the cubicle on the far left is going to be 2 half-height hanging rails, 800mm extension. Next to it are going to be 5 deep drawers, again 800mm extension, and then the 4 slots next to them are for shoe storage. That's the job that I'm working on at the moment, and the next stage of it is to cut all the drawers and the panels to size for the cabinetry, in want of a better word. So that's what I want the Kapex on site for. And what I've decided to do is to mount it back on its mobile base, and that's what I wanted to show you, because this thing is an absolute dream. When I bought the Kapex 9-10 years ago, I bought it on the table. It looks like a mini MFT table, and that was a great solution, but it was a lot to heft around. And then they came out with this, and when I saw this, I bought it instantly. I thought, what an absolute dream. So you slide that up to 45 and lock it in, pick that up, pop it under there, then that goes down there, that clicks in, that locks it in place, and you are away. It is truly mobile and just acts like a hand cart, and you can wheel it around anywhere you want to. There's 2 adjustment feet on the bottom, and the frame also acts as kind of a protector for the saw when it's in the van travelling around to the different job sites. So, like I say, it works a dream, and I've used it Lord knows how many times, and I've managed to get the saw into some rather bizarre places over the years. And there we go, she's ready to go. But I think you really need the extension tables with it. So you might remember one of these being attached to it over there. I altered it a little bit, but I managed to find the nuts and bolts for them. So if you've got the crown guard wings, the little extension tables that go with it, you need to take them off, and then these bolt in place where those little extension tables were. And hey, presto, 2 skips and a slip later, and you've got some 2.96 meters to work with. The legs are also height adjustable, so you can get it on all level. There's a little thumb nut there where you can adjust the height, bring them up or down, and you've got a huge work area. But that's not all. It's got more to give. Inside each extension table, there's another extension piece. So if you undo this locking nut on the back, then this piece slides out for about another meter. So I used this setup extensively when I was cutting shiplap, external cladding, anything that was over a couple of meters that you could cope with on the little center table itself. These two legs came in really handy, or extension pieces came in really handy. But when I had 5.2 meter runs of, like I say, decking board or cladding, then these little extension bits just gave you that extra bit of support that was absolutely stunning. Each extension table side piece has got a rule on it that's calibrated to the blade, as long as you've got it sat in the little V channel correctly, and it's also got a repeatable stop on it that you can flip up out the way. Now, there's a repeatable stop on both pieces, so you can have two sizes set up, but there's also a repeatable stop on these little end bits. So you can set up for 4 repeat cuts and knock them all down out the way. Absolutely brilliant. Very typical Festool. The only downside of this system is the fact that the tables, the extension tables, aren't that secure. And in fact, the mobile base itself could be more secure, but that's purely due to the fact that it's got a relatively small footprint that's not much bigger than the saw itself. And I would argue that if you wanted a more secure base for the Festool when you're out on the job site, because of the size of timber that you're working with, then you should really be using the table to support it on, which is a lot longer and deeper. So therefore, by definition, it's more stable and will rock a lot less. But I've never had the saw fall over on me, and for cutting 5, 6, 7, maybe 8-inch boards, these extension tables work extremely well and are more than adequate for the job. Naturally, the mobile base is big enough to house one of the Festool extractors, so that sits underneath, nice and neat and out the way, hoses out the back, and you get to retain all of the dust collection benefits of the system and everything that the saw itself will do out on the job site, with support for larger pieces. Absolutely brilliant. So it's a bit of a wrench to take it out the workshop now that I've had it in the workshop for so long, and to have it back out as a mobile piece of equipment. But needs must. You don't buy a piece of equipment like this and not use it when there's a need to. So I suppose this now presents yet another question, doesn't it? That am I going to take it out on site, use it for a bit, then take it off of the mobile base and put it back on the cabinet that I made? Or am I going to keep it as a mobile bit of kit and put something else where it lived? That's going to require some cogitation, I think. Anyway, that's for another video. So I'm going to go and finish cleaning this up and squirt a 3-in-1 oil or GT85, wherever is appropriate, and get it all ready for the job site next week. But don't go away, because I want to talk to you about compressors.